So I have worked with and taught and consulted with a lot of people who are trying to grow on YouTube or trying to go on social media as a whole and are hitting a roadblock and are like, I don't understand. Why am I not getting views? Why am I not whatever? And there are a blue million reasons why you may not be growing on this platform or another platform. But one that people don't talk about and is kind of hard to hear is that you might be boring. But the good news is that you can fix it, I promise. Like it's not something you have to live with. And this is gonna take some self-reflection, a certain percentage of being self-aware, and a lot of us are not super self-aware. Like a lot of us are like, I'm doing exactly what X, Y, or Z said to do, or I'm doing exactly what they do, or I'm doing exactly what, I think I should do, but in turn, you're probably not. And so this is either gonna take you sitting down and being like, am I boring to watch? Would I watch this if I was someone else? Or this might possibly take you sending your videos or something to someone else who, maybe knows you and knows your real personality in real life, who would not be afraid to be like, yeah, hun, you're a little boring. So admittedly, I've never been told I'm boring a day in my freaking life because that's just not my personality. Like I am someone who's always like, la, 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 and, doing the things and whatever. But I have to take up my level of intensity up quite a bit when I film to not come across boring on camera, because there's this weird phenomenon where I like to tell people there's like a little gremlin. You know those little guys that are on the Mucinex commercials, the little snot balls? I picture one of them just like living right here. In like I'm pointing at him there, okay? He's living in this camera. And homeboy's whole job is to take what you put into the camera, like your personality that goes in. You like how my camera like readjusts? Anyway, you take your whole personality that goes into the camera and just strip it away so that when it comes out the other end, you look boring AF. That's his whole job. I don't know why he lives there. I do not know why this is his job, but it is. So there are a few ways to fix this, okay? There's a few ways to fix the boringness if that's what you think you might be struggling with. One, remember that the little gremlin guy, the little snot ball, lives inside your camera. And so if you are just talking to your camera like you would talk to somebody sitting across the table from you, it would be normal in like a regular setting where there was like a human on the other side of you. But because of little gremlin man, when you talk to your camera at the same volume, with the same intensity, with all of that you would talk to somebody across the table from you, it is going to dull it down so much that it was going to be really boring on the other end. So I like to tell people to increase their intensity of everything involved with their personality ×2, if not more. And this means your volume, your animation, the things that are natural to you. Don't do things that are naturally your personality. And this could be your inflection. This could be like the jokes you would tell, like whatever, okay? And let me again pause right here and say, this needs to be your personality, not someone else's personality, because if you try and replicate someone else's personality, you're gonna go from boring to fake. And that's not good either. So use the same personality you would use to talk to people face to face, but just take it up a notch. Like I am talking much louder right now than I would if you were only this actual distance from my face. Like much, much louder, because I need to. I'm also moving around more and like being more animated. I am naturally animated anyway, but I'm doing it a little bit more because again, that's what I need to do for the video on the other end to come out looking natural and not being boring. I actually have a funny story about this. So I hired Laura. Laura was my operations assistant from 2020 to 2023. She left me last year. Laura, I still am mad at you. But anyway, she was my operations manager and she was amazing. And she was my first full-time employee, okay? And she had been editing videos and, doing things for me with my YouTube videos for a very long time, until the point where she actually saw me film a video in person. So I bet she had been working with me for over a year, maybe a year and a half. And then we got a studio in my downtown area. I have talked about that I loved it, but then it was like too loud. And so I turned it into a store and then I sold it. It's like a whole thing. But we got this studio, okay? And it had the availability for Laura to come in and work in the studio. And then it was huge. So I would like film in a corner and she would be working or whatever. And by the way, as comfortable as I am on camera, it's weird to film in front of somebody else. That's a conversation for a different day. But I had strung up a curtain in my like filming area, 1, to help with light, but 2, to help with the awkwardness of like filming videos in front of somebody else. And I went behind this curtain and I was like filming my video and I'm like, oh, blah, 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 and I don't know, I was talking about something and I come out and she was like, that was like a performance. I'm like, I know. And she's like, but it doesn't feel that way on the other end of the, like when I watch the videos, it doesn't feel performative, but you were definitely performing. I'm like, yeah, I was. And so you've got to take into consideration that you have to perform a little bit for the camera because little snot bubble man is trying with every little bone, or not bone, I guess, every little mucus tendon in his body to make you boring on the other end. So you've got to fight against that. But again, be you. Do not be someone else. You just have to be you a little bit more intensely, okay? Will this make you more tired? 1000%. Will you get exhausted filming because it's a performance and it's not like as if you were talking to somebody? 1000%. But it is kind of what you need to do to not be boring AF. Okay, the second thing you can do, and I'm actually just gonna do it while I'm talking here, that is to move your camera angle around. I literally just moved my tripod and moved my chair around to where like there was a little bit of a difference in my content from a few seconds ago to now. Is that a huge change? No, but do you know what it does? It captures people's attention. It gets them paying attention. It gets them wanting to pay attention and watch more because something changed, something's different. You know, something drew their eye to what just happened. And that can really help you cut down on like the boringness because you are keeping their eye moving throughout the video and you're not just like sitting in one place the whole time and just talking about this thing and just kind of sitting there and doing the thing. You're actually like moving and making it dynamic, even if you're just doing talking head videos like this. And anybody should be able to do that. Like my camera is taking up the same square footage on my desk that it was 5 seconds ago. Nothing is different. I literally moved 4 inches, right? So if I go back to this other angle, there I am. And I could move to this angle over here, but there's a bunch of crap back here, so I don't want to do that. But you get it. You can move around and make things interesting. And you can get really creative with this. Maybe you start your video outside. Maybe you start your video in your kitchen, like whatever, and you move around in different settings. That is really going to help people kind of stick around and not feel like your content is just this like mundane piece of content that they're watching. For this next point, I'm gonna actually show you what I mean because it might be a little hard to kind of grasp this. So hang with me just a second. I'm about to get boring. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're gonna talk about sales funnels and how to use them. I've been using sales funnels in my business for a really long time and they're such a big deal. Like I love them so much and I'm so glad I figured them out and I wanna help you figure it out too. Okay, so did you see how boring that was? Yeah, you did. I know you did, okay? Did you notice, like when I was doing that little skit there, I was talking at a level I would talk if you and I were sitting across the table from each other. There's the difference between like my voice and if I project my voice, okay? So this last thing is, let's say you're actually freaking boring as hell, okay? Let's just say you are. You can't really project your voice. You haven't figured out like what mannerisms you want to bring onto camera, blah, 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 right? And you sit back and it's comfortable for you to like sit in one position and talk and not like do much else. And you've tried taking the intensity up, you've tried moving the camera and either it just doesn't work for you or you still feel boring. The last tip that I have for you is to use your editing to make it less boring. Okay, so let's watch that boring clip again where I was like, hi, blah, blah, and watch me be boring again, okay? And then right after that clip rolls, I'm gonna play the same clip with some fun, funky editing to help bring up the intensity of the clip to make it feel less boring. Hopefully that'll show you what I mean. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about sales funnels and how to use them. I've been using sales funnels in my business for a really long time, and they're such a big deal. Like, I love them so much, and I'm so glad I figured them out, and I want to help you figure it out too. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about sales funnels and how to use them. I've been using sales funnels in my business for a really long time, and they're such a big deal. Like, I love them so much, and I'm so glad I figured them out, and I want to help you figure it out too, right? Sometimes editing can be a huge deal. We've actually used this with clients a lot in the past. So I have off and on throughout the years done like YouTube management and done YouTube strategy for other business owners and things like that. And oftentimes people will send us videos and we'll be like, you know, this could use a little bit more pizzazz. But instead of them having to re-record a video they've already recorded, they can move on. We'll give them some tips to make it more pizzazzy. But with this one, we're going to use editing to make it less boring, and it works pretty well if you can get creative there. Okay, so the bad news is that you might be boring, and that might be why people are not watching your content. The good news is that you can fix it. And hopefully through projecting and being more animated and kind of making it a performance, moving your camera angle around and using super interesting editing techniques, you can make your videos less boring and people will want to watch them, and the whole problem is solved. All right, so I'm done, but I have to show you my sweatshirt. I got it from Abercrombie. So cute. It's like an oversized sweatshirt. I am filming this the day before the Chiefs have their second playoff game. So let's hope I'm not jinxing them, knocking on the wood. And if you caught that, I'm filming this on a Saturday. I never film on Saturdays. But let me tell y'all, this last few weeks, actually last month, has been bananas as far as our schedule goes because my kids have not been to school since before Christmas. Okay, that's not a complete truth. They've been to school 2 half Fridays since Christmas. That's it. It is January 20th. Over a month, my children have not been in school. I may be about to lose it, but I can tell you what I'm really about to lose, and that's my schedule, my routine. I have not been on a good routine in a long damn time, and it sucks, and I need to get back on it, but with the kids home, it's very, very hard for me to do, and so I'm filming on a Saturday. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. All right, do me a favor. Comment below with no more boring videos. Now you've got all the tools in your little hands to make sure your videos are not boring, and they're fun, and they're exciting, and they're things that people wanna watch. Peace out, Girl Scout.